Working in tech from the outside seems glamorous. You have flexible hours, good salary. The work is not as challenging in a sense that it's not a lot of manual work. You have good time. But for people who actually work in it, there's a whole other side. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of those emotional roller coaster that many of us software engineers go to that a lot of us just don't talk about. First, one of the most annoying things is the learning trap. So here's the thing. Tech changes so fast. It seems like every years you have to keep updating yourself with new technology, new technique, new framework, new everything. Here's the catch. You can either spend time master what you know, or you can spend time learning new things. And new things always seems to be shiny. So here's the thing, you don't ever know when to stop because there's always something new coming in. If it's not something completely new that will revolutionize the entire industry, for example, currently we are in the artificial intelligence stage, it's gonna be some framework on top of something that you already know that promise to make you save time doing something. And those frameworks usually have steep learning curve. And by the time you finish learning the steep learning curve, there's always something new coming up. So the learning never stops, the learning trap. And you always feel like, am I behind working on this tech? Am I living 5 years ago? I'm still using jQuery? Or am I current? And the worst thing is sometimes even when you're current, you probably might not even find a job in the current thing. Because while you are getting up to speed, that doesn't mean there is a job available for that new tech for you. So the learning never stops. And it can be exhausting, mentally exhausting. The second thing, there's a lot of silent heartbreak in tech. Let's say you spend months working on a project, you really love it. You sweat, night sleep, you're losing night sleep, and you give it your all. And then when you release it, cricket, nobody wants to use it. Or the competitor released theirs first, even though theirs is worse than yours, but people already get used to the one that your competitor released. They don't want to adopt yours. Let's say, for example, like in my time, you had the iPad that you can use to listen to music, and Microsoft released something called Zune. Where is Zune? But can you think about if you were on the team working on Zune, the amount of time you spent to make it cool, yet nobody wants to use it. The entire industry will be like, we don't want Zune from Microsoft. We prefer to use our iPod to listen to music. Other thing would be like you have a lot of operating systems out there, Linux distribution. Most people don't use them, but think about it. It takes a lot of people, a lot of effort to maintain these operating systems. They are valuable, but most people just don't use them. So you have that thing where you pour a lot of effort into something and then you end up having no one to use it. Okay, here's another thing. The third thing is being an accidental maintainer. So here's what happened. I can give you a story. So when I joined to work, then there are certain things I used to do manually when we have to deploy in production. This includes filling form manually to let management know what's going to be deployed, making sure the right packages are actually the right things being deployed in production. Me being smart, I'm like, okay, those things look repetitive. Let me code my personal little application in my computer. And then so that I can save time, I just go and then fill the form once, and then it goes to each system like ServiceNow, and then it goes to our Jenkins and get the right packages, and then it fills the entire form. It's like creating a template. And it saves time, like something that would have taken like an hour to fill and then verify manually. Now I can do it in 5 minutes. I created the tool for myself, not for everybody. And then a couple of years later, the company decided to start thinking about using the cloud. So they had a version of the cloud called Pivotal Cloud Foundry, which is PCF. So I took the tool and I just put, instead of keeping it on my laptop, let me host it in Pivotal Cloud Foundry. Like this, I can easily use it. Before you know it, teammates saw the tool, they're like, oh, that's really cool. And then they start asking for adding more things. Can you add it so that my team can use it too? I add it. Can you add it so that it can do this? I add it. And then before you know it, now I'm responsible for the tool. Nobody asked for it. I didn't write it with the intention of it being a production grade tool. I wrote it for myself so that I can save myself time, but other people just like it. So then boom, I'm an accidental maintainer. Let me know in the comment if something like this happened to you before, because I don't think I'm the only one, because now I'm in a new team and then someone did something similar. The software does what it does, but the software was not production grade. They wrote something from themselves and now we have to maintain that thing because it gets the job done. The fourth thing that we have to deal with is this idea that did I take the right specialization? Because in software engineering, it's so huge, you have to specialize. You can be a DevOps engineer, you can be a mobile engineer, you can be a web developer, you can be an infrastructure engineer, you can be a cloud engineer. So when you have the fundamental, eventually you would have to specialize. And then now you're in that situation, did I pick the right specialization? And the worst part is, once you are into a track, it's really hard to go into another track because your experience in that track command a certain level of salary, and someone might not be willing to pay you that same level of salary if you're going to start from a new track. For example, let's say you're a DevOps engineer, which is one of the ones that pay the most. You're like, okay, I'm tired of DevOps engineering, let me jump into mobile development. Nobody would be paying you the same amount of money they used to pay you as a DevOps engineer to become a mobile developer. Mostly because that's how it works. Ask me, some people do the switch, but then you might not get the same amount of salary. So because of that, you always wonder, am I in the right track? Did I pick the right specialization? For example, right now you have AI coming, right? You're like, okay, should I switch to AI? But you probably don't have a senior level or staff level engineer or level of experience to be paid what you want to be paid if you make the switch. You're probably gonna switch at a lower level, which might be a lower salary. So now you're like, And the worst part, if you keep switching, you're never gonna be progressing in your career. Sometimes you have to pick something and stick to it for a very long time. And this is another trap. Did I pick the right specialization? And the worst part is, as you stay in the industry, new specialization get created that you didn't even know existed when you joined. When I joined the industry, they didn't have DevOps or SRE. When I joined, these were like operation type. But now DevOps, SRE, or even platform engineer or infrastructure engineer are very popular and they pay a lot. So did you pick the right specialization? This is always in the back of your head. I want to do AI, but would someone pay me the same amount of money that I'm making as an infrastructure engineer with many years of experience? And if I jump into writing development for deep learning, would they pay me the same? Question mark. Fifth things that really impacting us is the burnout, the tech burnout. Exploring new technology is always fun. You're always happy to explore it. Or you just open your laptop and your brain goes, pow. But what happens is that you have to explore this on your free time. Nobody might give you the time at work to go explore something that doesn't have a direct impact in your day-to-day. So you have to do it on your free time. Are you willing to take your evening to explore a new technology for several months without knowing if it will pay off? That's another thing that's really, 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 really impacting it. Okay, here's another thing. The other thing is you're always comparing yourself to your teammate. Right? When you see your teammate being able to deliver something very fast, you compare yourself. Am I behind? Or is it that my teammate is smarter than me? Or is it that my teammate has been in the team longer, so they know all of the in and out, and it's not a question of my level of intelligence. It's mostly because they've been in that code or in the company way longer that they always see in their mind as a map and a connection. So the fact that you're always comparing yourself to your teammate, even if you might be at a more advanced level, but you always feel like, okay, I have to keep up. And this can really, really impact your confidence. This can really impact your self-worth, because like comparison, like they say, is the thief of joy. So that's another thing that a lot of tech people face. This comparison trap, comparing yourself in your team with another teammate in another team or with your actual teammate. Here's another thing. I don't know if this is you, but for me, one of the things in tech, I feel so relieved when my manager released my one-on-one. I feel happy. I'm like, oh, thanks God, I don't have to sit to that one-on-one. But it's another thing. Sometimes you're obligated to do one-on-one with your manager, which is a really good thing. I'm not sure, because that's where you get to talk about progress in your career, things that you would like to see, where you're struggling. This gives you some face-to-face with your manager. But sometimes you spend so much time with your manager in other meetings and stuff like that. They always know what's going on. And then you feel like you're being forced to sit. And I don't know how it feels for the manager, but sometimes I feel like, oh, and when this meeting get canceled, I'm like, yes, yes. Yep, I don't know. Everybody is different, but that is just me. I like the one-on-one, but I just don't like them every week, right? Maybe every other week if there is something in particular. And usually when there is something, I just go straight to my manager and talk. I don't have to wait for the one-on-one. But I feel like as I get further in my career now, this seems to be an industry standard. Everywhere I go, there is always that one-on-one with your manager every time. That's a place where you can say, but me, every time that one-on-one get canceled, I'm like, ooh, 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 ooh. Those are some of the things that us working in the industry have to deal on a daily basis. If you had some extra things that you as a software engineer experience that a lot of people don't talk about and you want to share it, go ahead, drop it in the comment and I'll definitely reply. Thank you very much. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Edson. I'm a software engineer. I make content about software engineering, deep learning, machine learning, computer vision. A lot of time I use WordPress as a template to show my example. So if those are things that you might be interested in, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next.